Hi, I wanted to talk to you about social media, a marketing strategy. That's where we start. You need one, you have to have one. Now, it sounds very basic and simple, but the marketing strategy is really just there for the business or you as a small business or whoever you are, whatever you're wanting to do. If you are on social media, the word marketing strategy is just another way of saying go on there, but kind of know why you're there. What is it you're doing? And if it is a business and you've got things that you need to deliver, if it's a community centre, a voluntary sector, if you're a social enterprise, well done. Going on social media is just the beginning. So, really, for you to know what your objectives are, what your outcomes are, for you to understand the funders, they want this from me. That's what you need. That's your marketing strategy. If you don't think you've got one now. That's really it. Really simple and straightforward, right? So, the next thing on the list that you need to do, the next thing you need to do, check yourself. Yeah, it sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? Check yourself. It's not really good lingo. Really, this is all about brand. And this is where you might have heard me talk a lot about brand and communication and just going on a little bit too much, I guess, about brand. All this means is what values does your brand hold? What is your voice? If you don't currently have a voice on social media, what is it you're selling people? What is it that's your pitter patter? What's your short sentence about who you are and what you do? And why should I buy from you or go to your service? Whatever that is, that's kind of the language that you speak, the hidden stuff behind there. And if you're a large company, it's even more tough because your employees are really carrying that message over. But when they do that, they're doing it in a certain way. And the way the team works together is quite unique. So the team would be together creating a voice of their own. And it might be just slightly different in terms of the delivery compared to what the actual business objectives are. There's a two split there. If you want to ask me more questions, then please do at the bottom of the comments. There's a big difference between businesses and large companies and smaller ones and voluntary sector because it is all about the voices of the team or the individual, and that does vary a bit. Essentially, the brand, your voice, is what you need to really get a grip of and understand. Why? Why do you need to do that? I know why. You need to really do this because if once you understand your value, your voice, brilliant, that's it, you've got it. But the problem is, your team might be uptight. You might feel, oh, this bitter resentment. If you're a business that works on sales, if you are a sales department and you want your own Twitter or Facebook stream, then you have to think, we're all going to be selling. We're going to be getting stuff from people. If you're a technical help support kind of avenue, it's all going to be quite miserable and dull and I hate you, why have you done this to me? Oh, why don't you call this number? It's just one of those things. You've got to learn what your voices are, and you don't really want a dull voice, but whatever's built already inside your company is what will come out. So don't try and push that one. It already exists. Just try and foster a positive voice and channel that through. Why? Again, why would you want to do this? Well, it's easy. The reason why you would want to do this is because then you can foster what's actually going on in your organization and company. You can foster the voices so that they're positive. When it comes down to doing social media and having to deliver that or record something or take a picture, it should be second nature. You shouldn't need to go, what's our voice again? What's the brand? I'm lost. You should know what it is because the people already have made it. They embody it. And all it is just putting it onto various social media streams. It should be quite straightforward. Maybe a little bit of admin of actually like trying to put it online. Pardon me. Pardon me. Right, so my final little piece of advice is this. This is my last piece. My final point to make. That's it. 1, 2, this is the third. Social media policy. Policy, policy, policy. Yes. Don't we love the boring stuff? Not really, but it has to be done. You have to have it. Why? Oh, in case something goes wrong. Yeah. What you don't want is your customers and people to be like, you don't want that, because then if you're not listening and you're not engaging, then they'll get worse and worse and worse and worse, and they'll feel really resented. What you want is a positive brand, one that celebrates and pushes forward. You want one that allows people to talk to you and feel like you are talking to them. I'm thinking specifically about Twitter here, but if you're sending out a tweet and you've got over 1,000 followers, are you really talking to all 1,000 of those? Of course you're not. Do you understand why? You're not talking to all of them because not all of the 1,000 that are following you actually get to see that one tweet. How many might see that? Well, let's say 20%. So if it is 20%, then actually within that, another 20%. So about 10 people. 10 people might actually bother to read that. So that's the reality of it. It's tough, I know, but that's marketing stats for you. So if you assume out of 1,000, you might get 10 or 20 tweets that people would read of that one tweet of yours, and that needs to get pushed on. You need to engage with them equally because they've taken the time to engage with you. So every single person is vital. Sorry, there's a mark on my screen. It's quite annoying. I need to clean my screen. So that's it. Your policy really allows you to consider the pitfalls, any potential problems, and how you might overcome these. Your policy is essentially a tasking guideline, a set of procedures that might help you and support you in understanding what it is that you're doing, your reason for having that social media channel, and how you might deal with and tolerate certain behaviours, whether it's your employees or other outside people looking in, doing various stuff. That's a lot to take in. Yeah, so hopefully you took that on board and it makes sense. But those are my top 3 things that you need to get to grips with in order to begin your social media strategy. There are more points. There are more, but I won't bore you with the details. I might actually... Yeah, that's it really. Really short and sweet this should be.